Let's discover together a very special watch, and as manufacturers, we would like you to understand why and how we did this watch. So meet the Bühlmann Decompression 02. A very special dive watch is the successor of the Decompression 01. Why is it very special? This watch contains, in its concept, in the way it's made, 50 years of decompression science. In fact, all these years of research by Swiss professor Dr. Albert Bühlmann have generated the data which is printed on the dial of this watch. This watch has been made with one purpose in mind, and the entire design, the technical development, and all you see has been made for one purpose only: allow divers to have a backup instrument which can help them to increase the safety of their dive, because dive computers can fail. Of course, for watch enthusiasts, this represents unconventional watch, a watch which makes no concessions at all to conventions in dive watch design or in dive watch horological concept. So what is the purpose? As I said, the purpose is to help divers to measure their decompression stops. Of course, this was not enough, because also total dive time is very important. So both parameters can be measured with this watch. To be able to do so, we needed to invent something, because measuring decompression time and total dive time are two different things, and they also require two different fail-safe mechanisms. The solution to this problem was to create a diving watch with two bezels. We call it the twin safety bezel. One allows you to measure decompression, the other one allows you to measure total dive time. They are counter-rotating. Why? Because in case of a problem, decompression time should only become longer and total dive time should only become shorter. So both bezels block in different directions. This requirement has allowed us to innovate. It has also, of course, influenced the design of the watch. It's a beautiful design, it's a tool watch. Its beauty comes actually out of its technicity and this double bezel, as well as the double dial, because that's the other feature. In order to place the decompression data on the dial and be able to use it to set your dive profile, we have made a twin dial. So there is a top dial and a sub dial, and the sub dial turns with the right crown. So the use is pretty simple. What a diver does is, before diving, he will establish his dive profile, meaning how he wants to dive, basically. What he determines is how deep he wants to go, how long he wants to stay at that depth, if or not he wants to do repetitive dive during the day. So to show you quickly how this functions, first of all, once he established his or her dive profile, the diver sets the dive profile, the data he requires on the dial. He opens the crown, and you see now the disc is turning, and you see the decompression data in the window at 6 o'clock. So here I will set a depth of 40 meters, for example. So now the diver sees his decompression stops and how long he has to stay at every stop. The stops are 9, 6, and 3 meters. What is important to note is that the data presented on the dial will cover what is called the golden zone. So the 17 most used dive profiles. Now, once the diver set his dive profile, he will then proceed to set the total dive time to 0. So he will set the counter to 0. To do this, he will release the left crown, and by releasing the left crown, both bezels turn together, as you can see. So the outer bezel is the decompression bezel, and the inner bezel measures total dive time. So what he will do is he will set the triangle, which represents the 0, in front of the oversized minutes hand. Will then block the bezel in that position using the crown, and at this point the total dive time bezel remains fixed, and when the diver is under the water, he will be able to measure decompression stop time using the outer bezel only. So let's make an example. Diver went down, stays there the minutes he desires, then wants to come up. He will read his decompression times at 6 o'clock. and will then set, for example here, I don't know, for 9 meter, he has to stay exactly 2 minutes. He will set the bezel, the 0 point in front of the minutes hand again. After 2 minutes, he knows he can go to the next depth. So very simple, intuitive, very legible. Of course, it's an instrument. As I said, the two bezels have influenced also the design, so it's not a small watch. But what we did to have a perfect ergonomics of this watch and a very big comfort in terms of wearing, we have adopted two solutions. So the first is on the case back, so it is very ergonomic. It is shaped according to the shape of your wrist. And then secondly, we have put a flexible joint on the strap at 12 o'clock, and this will allow also people with a small wrist to wear this watch in total comfort. Maybe for those who know, the Decompression 01, probably you can recognize many design cues. So a unique diving watch with 3 crowns. This makes it immediately recognizable. A 5-degree inclined case, so which makes the legibility of the dial better also underwater. And the signature extra large minute hand, which is typical of Bühlmann watches. I think this really represents a very unique piece. I think it will fit in any collection. It will allow you to have a kind of a mechanical masterpiece also from the side of the habillage, the solutions chosen to allow divers to operate it. It will be produced in only 575 pieces with this very special Druckkammer color dial. So this color, maybe for those who don't know the Decompression 01, this color is exactly the color of the decompression chamber which Professor Bühlmann was using for his experiment. So a very unique dial. If you like tool watches, if you like unique watches, which are also limited edition, this is a perfect piece for your collection. And I think what we can say about this watch is don't give in to pressure, manage it, and manage it with this beautiful piece of mechanical art.